Hi, and welcome to today's interview for One Life Fully Lived. I'm here with Cara Lowry, who is my wife's second cousin, and we got a great story for you today. This is a success story of starting kind of a rough life and then turning things around. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to Cara here.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So Cara, in your own words, can you tell us where you were and where you are today and how you got there?
I finished high school at 16, started going to junior college. I had finished a considerable amount of schooling before I was 18. I moved out at 17 years old. For some reason, I thought that was a really good idea, although I didn't really have any of the tools that were necessary to make that happen successfully, like saving money and paying rent and having a way to go to the doctor if you needed it, or how to buy groceries after buying books for school, and how to apply for financial aid, and how to go to college. And I was kind of fuzzy on all of that, and I never ever even went to a counselor in school, which I wouldn't recommend. I think that should be one of the first things that someone does when they start going to college, is to go and sit down with a counselor and to make a plan. Because if you don't have a plan, it's easy to get off track, I think, which is what you guys talk about.
Exactly.
So I got considerably sidetracked when I was about 18 years old, and I ended up going away from college and partying too much and hanging out with people that weren't going to school and people that weren't on a good career path, and dating the wrong type of people that also weren't going to school and weren't on a good career path. And when you do that type of thing, you find that years go by all of a sudden, and then you're stuck with, really not much to show for what you've been doing for all that time. So finally, when I went back to school, I met with a counselor, which is a really good idea. I also moved out of my hometown, which I would recommend to people.
Okay.
Because if all you've ever known is from one small geographic area, then I don't think you have much to compare to. Mm-hmm. You get really caught up in what your own life is in its own little limited space, right, and you don't get a chance to see things from other people's point of view. And in my case, I didn't get to see people that were being very successful. So I think that finding people who are achieving great things in life, you can maybe model yourself after them, or find out what made them the successful person that they are.
Right.
I would pay attention to people that I thought were doing great things. I would find out, how they were making money, how they finished school, how to be successful at things.
So it sounds like you went from not paying attention to just partying and enjoying life to starting to realize, hey, if somebody's going to do this, I better do it. No one's going to do it for you.
Well, yeah, and also my dad was killed, and so all of a sudden I found myself with not a lot of male role models to show me how to do things. And so I think I found myself seeking that out in people and being like, oh, you look like you have something you could teach me, and so I'm going to pay attention, and I'm going to learn what I can from you, and I'm going to, I think I sought role models is what I did.
And how old were you when did this happen overnight? Was it like a switch that flipped, or did it come gradually?
I think it happened when I left my hometown when I was 23. Okay. I left my hometown and I started, getting out of the smaller towns and moving more towards the city and meeting people, and just, it's interesting, your circles just continue to grow, and you meet and you network and you find people that are good at what they do. And so I don't know if it was overnight necessarily.
So it kind of, you blossomed.
It was definitely an increased awareness and trying to pay attention to people that I thought were doing things the way I wanted to do them.
Nice.
So
nice. Hey, so Cara, where are you now with all this? Where are you at in your life, and what's going on now?
I just passed my state boards to be a registered nurse.
Yeah.
Which took me 4 years. So when I had went back to school, I just went to school full time for 4 years, and I finished all my prerequisites, and I applied to nursing school, and I got in, and I worked the whole time I was in nursing school, sometimes
Wow.
as much as 36 hours a week,
Wow.
which was very challenging, but again, I had really good people around me, and so it's easier to do when you can see, other people have done it, and you're like, that's how I want to be. I want to be professional, I want to be accomplished. I want to, I want to be like they are, and hopefully someday I can
I want to do
teach.
something with my life.
Definitely.
Yeah. Cool. So what's next?
I'm going to go for a master's program in
Nice.
San Francisco, and, pardon me, and then hopefully someday I can teach, so.
That's awesome, Cara.
Yeah.
Well, what we
Thanks,
have
Evan.
here today is, I think, a great story of redemption and a great story of the thought your past does not equal your future. And I thank you, Cara Lowry, for saying that to our One Life Fully Lived crowd. So, thanks
Right on.
again, Cara.
Thanks.
Yeah.